Hey Aquarius, welcome to the Cosmic Jackal Tarot. I'm your host Mirage. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Pisces season reading. Whew. I have a spring candle for you guys, and my setup is just it's constantly changing. I have a new light. I know you guys can't see it because it's pointing like this way. I'm trying to get everything in order. Also, shout out to my mom for getting me this diffuser. It's vanilla scented. Isn't it cute? I'm trying to get my room set up to have like Y2K vibes. And slowly but surely everything is coming together. So that's why I said this setup is going to change again in the next few weeks because I'm getting new furniture. I'm like literally just redoing my entire room. And then, bro, how cute are these candles? This is the small version of it. But these are all over Marshalls. I'm so in love with them. The scents that they have for this collection is so cute. Oh my god, it smells like real lychee. I want bubble tea now. What the fuck? But I just want to say, hey guys, I'm so sorry that your reading is kind of late. I don't have any excuses, not necessarily, other than life has just been really busy, and I meant to just kind of plan to premiere these and release them like by the 19th of February, but that didn't go according to plan. It was just like so much that was going on, not having enough quiet time, or just so much has been going on in my house that I'm like, trying to get everything in order, but it's all good, no worries. So let's start off with your Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Now for spring, some of you, it might not be spring just yet, but on Sunday the clocks turn, so get ready for that. A lot of changes are befalling you guys. Things that maybe you settled for, or things that you had to deal with. Well, I guess that would be settling. Things you know for a fact, like it's at its last string now. Some things will start to unravel. Whether that mean relationships will end, it's time to finally break that lease. It's finally time to leave that job. Because once you do, a better opportunity will befall. And some of you, like, you're aware of that. You're just kind of like, Gotta do what you gotta do out here. But now, I don't think we need to be in survival mode anymore. I think for a lot of us, it's just about that time to collect what we know we deserve. You have the beauty way, number 4. Some of you could have been born on the 4th of January. Some of you could have been born on the 2nd. The number 2 or the number 4 could be a life path number. Beauty way is just, honestly, whatever this lotus is doing. Basking, blooming, sharing your fragrance, your very essence, lighting up the world, brightening up the room, or adding an ambience to it that it didn't have before, that now lures and intoxicates people to want to stay. You are Aquarius, that source of energy that people are always looking for but don't know how to necessarily describe it. You're literally drugs. Or at least the happy chemical, like I think you tend to be the serotonin in the room, at least. That in mind, though, a lot of people find you attractive at this time. You're going to be finding yourself very attractive. You're going to want to engage in things that lift your spirits, or are going to lift other people's spirits. I feel like this is a time for you to be playful and show out, go all out. Your birthday had already passed, but for some of you, you probably could still be celebrating into Pisces year, or some of you could be on the cusp. You could be an Aquarius Piscean, Let's see. Now, emotionally, let's see how you guys are doing. We're going to pull from the Moonology Manifestation. gosh. Give me a card, bro. Okay. You have first quarter moon in Leo. Be humble. Some of you could have a Leo moon, perhaps. Now, being humble is kind of hard for a Leo to do, but this being a first quarter moon means you made a dent in the progress. You still got a ways to go. You might be halfway to the finish line, perhaps. Like, you made enough progress to where you can acknowledge, like, this wasn't easy, but I'm getting there, right? Being humble doesn't necessarily mean shut up, nobody wants to hear what you're doing or, what's working for you. It's not like that. But sometimes, Aquarius, you have a tendency to be boastful. Like, you might not be one to read the room, and sometimes you think that if you, like, open up about your accomplishments, that will lift people's spirits. But beware, because there are some people who, they might be triggered by your success. Not that they're not happy for you, but more so you might take it personal that they can't seem to shake themselves to be there at acknowledging the fact that you want validation. And like I said, like, sometimes you lose being tactful in a situation where you see an opportunity to, hey, that sucks for you, but look at what's going good for me. Like, when you might, and of course, maybe you don't mean it that way, but like I said, if you know your friend is like going through a hard time, or someone around you, like your coworker, your spouse, significant other, shit, for some of y'all, even your own kids, like, before we talk about all the partying and having a great day, how are we going to patch the hole in the ceiling that's letting the rain in? Like, make sure that you're not making everything all about you, basically. Because otherwise, you might feel that people are trying to humble you, but you might mistake that as, why is everybody trying to silence me? Like, why is nobody happy for me? No, it's not that. But how would you feel if someone, like, if your grandma had passed away, right? And you're acknowledging, like, some happy memories you used to have. And then your friend is like, oh, I just saw my grandma yesterday, bro. She's doing great. Like, what the fuck? Like, just think of it like that. Like, of course you didn't mean it that way, but it's just, again, y'all might catch me puffing every once in a while because today started my cycle. And I decided now is a good time to get these messages out quick as possible. So I'm going to pull one card from the Game of Thrones deck, and this is going to show me what challenges face you during Pisces season, or what's crossing you. What do you need to work on? What are you avoiding that you can't avoid any longer? That one jumped out, so I'm going to take this. You have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Some of you refuse to acknowledge the fact that you need to work on yourself emotionally and stabilize your mental health. Some of you tend to overdo it. You tend to overpromise. You tend to overwork yourself. You tend to blame others and yourself for why things go wrong in your life. Some of you purposely try to avoid situations that require you to use common sense because you always think you know a better way. And people tell you this and you're like, no. But listen to what people try to tell you with confidence, but also listen to yourself. Some of you are probably damaged internally, and it could be things from your past. Now, I don't mean damage like damaged goods or what I mean is some of you know you have internal work to do to ease up on certain triggers or certain things that trigger other people when you get into a certain way. Some of you know what I'm talking about. When you get toxic is the best word. And some of y'all know you have a toxic side, but like, this might be a lesson to, hey, you might not like what someone is saying, but at least hear them out and try to see why they're saying that. And it might not be because they're a hater. It might not be because they're trying to control you or whatever. It could just be, hey, literally, I love being friends with you, but if for some reason, like, you cannot work on this, then I don't know what's the point of us, doing what we're doing. That's Those are some harsh words to hear. I've had to even hear them myself, but the fact that someone's willing to sit you down, talk to you about why they have to have a intervention with you means that they really want to save the friendship, meaning that they still care about you and love you as a person, but they feel like maybe you just don't know or haven't really accepted the weight of your actions, because maybe you haven't gone through a process to understand what this feels like when you do it to someone else until it's done to you. Basically, the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who needs to heal and needs to stop running from things that makes them face their emotions, knowing damn well that no one is perfect, but like that's why you got the be humble card. You have to learn humility. You have to learn that everything is a process. And yeah, you pride yourself on being a perfectionist. You want things to work a certain way at all times sometimes, but like, understand that you can't control every aspect of your life. And people, like I said, they're entitled to their opinion. They might not always be right, but if they love you enough, like I said, people aren't going to tell you anything wrong. Just make adjustments where you need to and don't make a big deal out of it. That's it. So we're going to do we're going to do the beginning, the middle, and the end of Pisces season with the Light Seer Tarot deck here. Y'all probably didn't even notice I have a diffuser, an oil diffuser, but I need to fill it back up. And I'm thinking I'm going to put some African rain in there. Bro, I had this, what was it? It was a coconut lime scent. I cannot find it anywhere in my room. I used it like, I think it was last week or something, and maybe it fell somewhere in the room, because I'm like, didn't I leave it on my desk? But I don't know anymore. I've like rearranged my desk. I've taken out the trash. I've done all these things. I accidentally vacuumed up one of my scents like on the other side of the room. Luckily nothing broke or anything. I was able to save it, but now that scent, it doesn't have a tag on it, so I don't even know what it is. But it wasn't the coconut lime. Like it even the bottle is different. So I'm like, it's got to be somewhere in here, but wherever it is blending in somewhere, because it's white and clear, and that could be, it could be anywhere in this room. I don't know. But all right, back to your reading. Sorry for getting distracted there. I hope you guys have been doing well, though. I've been really enjoying this new year. I just see like all these good opportunities happening for everybody. And like I said, let's just focus on that, Oh, that one definitely wants to speak to you. Okay. All right. 1 second. I've been drinking these lately. Oh my God, it's so good for like when your stomach is a mess. Or when you're trying to eat cheese. Like after I have soda, a burger, pizza. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant per se, but like when you drink that, it makes everything easier. I don't know. Okay. So in the beginning, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is having a tough time with choices and being in this state of confusion. You know how you loop? And sometimes we do this like when we're at a grocery store, when we're about to make a very big purchase, when we have to deal with our finances, like, do I go without this to make room for this, but can I afford this later, or what if this happens? When you are choosing between partners or plans, like, I don't know, what outfit should I wear? Do I even have the time for this? All these things that we're like, I just don't know. Well, eventually, Aquarius, you gotta either shit or get out the pot, Sometimes you gotta just rip the Band-Aid right off and go with not what looks good, but what feels good, okay? And sometimes that's our harshest lesson, where we settle for things that we feel will give us an instant gratification. Like, yeah, now look, I have this amazing partner that probably everybody wants, and I'm going to take photos with them, and you know, we're going to go to all these things, and you start to over fantasize. I meant to say over fantasize, but then idolize. You know, maybe you're doing both of those. This person, so much in fact that if they have a lot of red flags, like, okay, everybody wants this person, sure, but is your person wanting you, or do they stay with you, or are they entertaining a whole bunch of people? Like, don't be in such a hurry to give people a cast membership in your story and you haven't really checked their references, or better yet, like, seen what they're about. Like, can you even trust them? How do you feel when you're around them? Like, do they make you feel self-conscious? Do you feel you always have to go through their phone? Like, do their friends act a certain way when you're around? Does their family like you? Like, there's a lot of things to think about, you know? So, once again, if you're having a hard time making up your mind, go with what feels right, you know? Don't sit there and be like, I don't know. You do know. You're being weird. In the middle, we have death and rebirth. This is Scorpio energy. But while something is starting to end, something is on its way to beginning. And sometimes when something starts, we have to get ready for things to come to an end. But you can't always have both at the same time. You know what I mean? So sacrifice begets reward, or something along those lines. But if you know, like, you tend to get very frustrated, let's say working at customer service jobs, and you want to do something where you don't really have to deal with customers. Maybe you want to build up a skill. Okay, well, you're not going to find that too much at Walmart, or, you know, doing, let's see, like, being a cross guard, I guess. Like, you know, there are some jobs that are just dead end. And there are very few who do luck out and they do find something within that career path that they can monetize on, or, you know, they move up in the company and now they're running the company or owning the company. Sure, maybe they just come up with something new that they didn't think would get them what they're getting. The way I see it, though, you know, again, if you want to build up a skill, you can't sit in customer service for the rest of your life and be moody, hate people, you know, you don't even like sticking to a schedule, you don't like people looking over your shoulder, you don't like to get rated. Like, there's a lot of things that come with, hey, but I want something better. Okay, well, then change your attitude, change the way that you're writing the story. Are you miserable at this job, or you just know that your potential, you've already more than shown it, and now this is just probably something that needs to go on a resume while you look for something else? And, you know, fluff it up a little bit with your resume. Just, hey, you know what, like, sometimes you already have the skills for a job you're afraid to try, or you know, you want to do, but maybe, you know, do you even look the part is what you're worried about? And it's like, don't worry about looking the part. Can you do the fucking job? You know what I mean? But yeah, some of you get caught up in the details of looking and acting the part, but no, you need to be the part. That's what they're looking for, right? So in order to be at the right place at the right time, to be chosen out of the many who probably want the same thing, you got to be that. Walk up there with that energy. And I think that's basically what Scorpio is trying to help you transform at this time. Teaching you, well, in order to become the new version of yourself, you have to let go of what keeps you stuck and stagnant to the old version of yourself that would never grow, would never want better, just sits there and accepts the bare minimum. We're beyond that, aren't we? Yeah. Finally, we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a mental prison, one of which most of the time we put ourselves in, or allow ourselves to be put in. Now, this could be an air sign or another air sign. So it could be another Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra that they might not want to see you do too well. But this could also be you reflecting to yourself the things you tell yourself, these empty projections that drain you and make you an energy vampire, because that validation sometimes that you need, Aquarius, when you're like, hey, remember the story I was talking about with the grandmas? You don't really, it's an impulsive thing. You don't know why you do it. It's just one of those, like, you just kind of say what you were already thinking. And by the time you realize, oh, yeah, that was in poor taste, you tend to wallow and you beat yourself up about it. So sometimes a mental prison is a loop where you are blind to the fact that, or blind, and also, she's been tethered or binded, and the crows represent swords. So she has all these negative thoughts, all these negative voices, all these intentions, manifestations. Sometimes this is someone that does spell work on you, like a binding spell, if you guys know what that is. Or when they take your name and they put it in a jar and they throw it in the freezer to keep you frozen or to keep you stuck, whatever. Sometimes, like I said, if it's not someone else doing this to you, you could be doing it to yourself unintentionally. Like those negative thoughts that keep replaying in your head. It's time to go either seek professional help for that, or it's time to train yourself to think of yourself differently and just accept that, hey, you make mistakes, but that doesn't mean you're a horrible person. Like, let that go. All right, now we're going to clarify with the Tarot of the Divine. Y'all want these messages bad, huh? All right, I'm going to take this one. The rest that fell, it was just too many, but that one kind of fell and acted like it wanted to look up at me, so I just got a feeling about it. Okay, that's another one. By the way, if this reading is happening to resonate for any of you, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Give that community tab some love. If it's not, totally okay. It's probably just meant for another Aquarius or somebody with Aquarius in their chart. Pass it along. I want to invite you guys to also take a look at my other forms of social media, which are in all my links down below in the description box. But also, I have 2 other channels that you guys might be interested. One for gaming and all kinds of goofy shit that goes on in my life, in a goofy sense, And my personal, like, vlogging, cooking, beauty channel, that's also down there. But yeah, it's just something to look forward to. Letting you guys know now. Okay, so you have the King of Cups over the 7 of Pentacles. This is intense because these are 2 water cards. So maybe the choice you want to make has to do with a water sign. They could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Could be a more fathering figure. Or maybe some of you want to live up to the expectations of a father or a masculine that's very dominating in your life. I'm hearing some of you know the path that you have chosen, but you keep going down the path you were shown. What that means is you know what it is that you want, but it's like you keep trying to talk yourself out of it because, maybe you're worried you'll disappoint people, or that you'll regret it, or what if the vision of you having of yourself in the future, like what if you can't live up to those expectations? What if you crash and burn? I don't know, but like either way, what you want is to be emotionally sound, and it's hard for you to do that because there's so many distractions on the path. And some of you might even get to a point where you're like, what's the point? Like, fuck it, Okay. In the middle, you have the World in reverse over death and rebirth. So you'll find that a lot of things you probably wanted to do at this time get canceled, or you feel like nothing works the way that you want it to. Yeah, like maybe they don't get canceled, but you're like, oh God, really? This is the end result of everything I work my ass off for right now. This could be plans to travel. This could be plans to, like, I guess change something within your home or within yourself. But this could also be someone who, this could, you know, be a mixture to make a Tower card, really. You're, until everything has fallen and you've let it go to just go its path, go its course, like it doesn't need to be attached to you or anything anymore. When you let the Tower fall, you realize that this isn't the ending, or this isn't something that's sent to destroy you, but maybe whatever it was that you were just going with or trying to force to happen or work out, it needed to fall apart so you could save yourself, or so that you could be more understanding that you are in control of what goes on around you. And the more that you keep holding on to a situation, a person, a place, a thing, whatever, it's just there to keep you stuck. Most of the time, the universe doesn't send anything to break you, but it will send something to strengthen you, to teach you that, hey, you know what, it's time to wake up, because what you're doing or what you're settling for is just literally a settlement. Okay? You don't want a settlement, you want acres. Alright. Finally, we have the 10 of Swords over the 8 of Swords. This betrayal will come to an end, whether you end it or the other person, they have had their way with you and then they walk away, avoiding you when you call for closure, avoiding you for when you try to even the score. Maybe you're doing that to them. But whatever this is, or whatever this was that had put you all up in your head, now all the swords are just dug, okay? This is a betrayal that it's come to an end. There is no more to it. But it still replays in your head. Some of you, this is fresh. Or if it hasn't happened yet, some of you know this is coming, is what I'm hearing. But you're just trying to, in a sense, it's like you're trying to keep the peace, but even you know, like, it's all bullshit at the end of the day. This doesn't get you anywhere, it just keeps you where you are. Alright, well, finally we have the Super Attractor. And I'm going to pull this. Hopefully this cleanses some of that energy, because, woo, that was pretty deep in there, wasn't it? Yeah, I hope it gets better for you guys. Like I said, we got Aries season coming up, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Just work on what you got to work on. But don't be a sucker for nobody. You hear me? Alright, come on, give me a card. Aquarius has been waiting. Here we go. Alright, so you have to begin the practice of allowing. I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. A lot of times, like I said, you tend to want to get in the way of your own outcome. But let me ask you this, Aquarius. Why are you so afraid to let life just bring things to you? Why do you feel you have to do all of this? I'm just curious. See, I have an Aquarius moon and a Mercury, so I can understand the emotion of why Aquarius does things, but I can never understand the logic. Like, I can be like, I can see why they did that, but I still don't think they should have done it that way, you know? Like, it doesn't excuse it, but it's just like, you know what? I probably would have reacted that way too. I probably would have said that as well. I don't know, but think about it. If you feel that things are falling apart in one direction, try the other one. And at least until you get it right. At least until you know for a fact, okay. You know? So with that, I love you guys. I will see you in another video or another reading. Take care. It is where we part ways. That's totally okay. But, you know, like I said, check out my other page, channel, all that stuff. I love you guys, and I'll see you again. Bye.